Hello and welcome to New Junction. Right, you join me today as we continue the woodwork on the lower shelf, and hopefully I'll give you a bit of an insight into how I'm doing it. Now, the loft itself is about to get even more messy than it already is as we uncover all the gubbins and boxes that are underneath the layout so far, in an effort to put the shelf the whole way round. So I'm not looking forward to this. I like a happy, tidy layout. Right, as mentioned before, I will be doing some cutting with some of the wood. So I need to dig out the bin bags and cover over the layout once again. Right, let's get on with that. Right, so you join me on the floor at New Junction, and I just want to tell you a bit more about how these are constructed. So we have used 1.5 inch by 2.5 inch CLS timbers, and they are supporting 12mm ply, which comes from my local hardware store in an 8x4 sheet, and they have a lovely saw and they cut it down to the shapes I needed, so that was very handy. So before I continue with the rest of the layout, I wanted to do a bit of housekeeping. So as you can see, the plywood is well supported front and, believe it or not, rear. But if we take a closer look over here, the gaps in between the two plywood sheets, there's actually no brace currently. So we're just going back over those to put some supports in, just so it won't sag in the months to come. So that's the next job, and we'll get on with that. Right, so I've moved the plywood top up just so you can have a bit of a better look at what I'm actually doing. As you can see here, you've got the two main runners which support the front and back of the ply top. The brace bar we're putting in, which is in the seam of the two plywood boards, will go in here. So once that's in, we'll be able to screw the top down because it'll be supported on all four edges. If it was a really long stretch, so this is it's probably about 5 foot or 6 foot, something like that, we'd put another one in the middle. As you can also see at the back here, there are some supports as well, just to stop the long timbers we're using sagging as well, just to give it some proper support. Right, so I'm going to get cutting and we're going to put this in, and then hopefully we'll continue with the rest of the layout. So as you've just seen, I've just made it look like I've just done all that, but we've got a nice supporting and a nice leg, so we can put the ply top back down, and then it's provided a solid frame to then screw that in, and hopefully this won't warp. Touch wood. So now the supports are going in, it's time to tidy up the opposite side of the layout. As you can see, my temporary workbench needs a good clean. If anything, I need some storage, but I'm on that. Now bear with me with some nice jazz music as I tidy this up so we can get the shelf going this side of the layout. So hopefully you enjoyed that little montage, lovely bit of sax music. And now, as I clear the way for the boards, I'm enjoying the newly recovered floor space in the loft, but now I'm going to tackle what's behind these curtains, and I'm sure we can all relate to them as I reveal the box mounting that I'm sure we all have, and that now flows round these curtains. And as you can see, the boxes from all my engines are in here. It's time to dig out some more of these plastic boxes and then tidy them all away properly, and then hopefully it'll lead to a much tidier, much nicer feeling loft space. So I'm going to make you suffer another montage now, but I'll see you in a minute when it's done. So as you can see, as I was tidying up, my helper was catching me up. The framing is now in place. We just need to put the supports, which will go sort of widthways, as it were, with the CLS timber, but we've run out. So we're going to go back to the timber yard and get some more, and then we'll cover it with plywood and drill it down. So as you can see, it's coming on quite well. Right, so as you can see, we're back from the timber yard. All the ply is here and cut, and it fits nicely. What we've also done is cut the timbers down, so we are bracing the fronts of the plywood. Now this is particularly important, especially over time, because if you don't brace it, eventually the plywood will sag. But like this, you'll see years of enjoyment from your layout. These aren't screwed in, these are just cut to shape and placed. They'll probably be lightly PVA'd. That one's going to stay. They'll be lightly PVA'd in, and then they'll be used just to drill into the boards, and their sole purpose is to add rigidity to the flat top. These, however, are the real strength, the cross beams. Right, time to get the bases down and get the drill on. And there we go. Sometime later, all the boards are now screwed in, and as you can see, the bit where I left you is nice and flat, ready for some O-gauge track. Now to bring you back out, if I show you what I've done in full, so you can see we already had the initial horseshoe shape, and if we come round, that then goes to the board you saw me screwing in, and coming all the way around, we've now got a much tidier other end. Might step back slightly on my creaky floor. You can see now we have a entire second level. I think you'll agree, although I've still got a bit of tidying up to do, that it's a vast improvement. I've not removed anything from the loft. Everything is now just stored in those boxes underneath the shelves. And I think I've just given myself some mass space, which is great really, as you can see. To give you a rough idea, final measurements, so left to right on the bottom, I think we're just about 9 foot wide, so a bit tight, especially for O-gauge, but we'll get a cheeky loop in. The boards on the left hand side are 16 inches wide, so that's this row, as you can see, and then the boards to the right hand side are the full 2 foot, as you can see. Now the only bit we've not done, just to bring you right round, is the gap above the loft hatch. I've left a nice lip on either end. This is so we can have a temporary fill with some spare plywood, and or I suppose we could have a go at making a O-gauge girder bridge or something, but that's one for another day. Now my last plans before I let you go, on this end I wanted to put some storage on the shelf as a bit of a modelling space, so I think that's going to be next. Hopefully I've got some goodies in the post, and I'll be able to show you that next week. And then I've also got to put these last few boxes away. But otherwise, a job well done, I think. I'm very pleased with it. It hasn't cost masses, believe it or not. I think I've used 3 8x4 sheets of ply, 12mm ply. And I think in the end we used 13 full length CSL timbers. So not particularly bad, and it's taken probably 4 evenings to do. Right, I'm going to leave you there because I don't know how long this video's been, but thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it's not been too boring for you. Should get a bit more exciting next week when we have some more storage in the end there, and hopefully some lighting. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye.